The night Sam collapsed in the shower was the night everything changed. For years, alcohol had been his quiet companion, always there after a long day, on weekends, and eventually every single day. At first, it just numbed the stress of work. But then, it started to numb everything else, his feelings, his relationships, and finally, his ability to just get through the day. But that night, hitting the cold tiles of the shower floor, that was a wake-up call. It was the start of a journey that would teach him the real truth about recovery. It's not about shame or punishment. It's about hope, healing, and taking one brave step at a time. This is Sam's story, and it might be a story you recognize. The first and arguably one of the most brutal hurdles in recovery is alcohol withdrawal. Sam had tried to quit cold turkey before. He thought it was just about willpower. But he ended up shaking, drenched in sweat, feeling like he was crawling out of his own skin. He didn't understand what was happening to his body. Here's the science behind it. Alcohol is a depressant, meaning it slows down your brain activity. When you drink heavily for a long time, your brain gets used to this and starts working overtime just to keep things balanced. So when you suddenly take the alcohol away, your brain doesn't get the memo. It keeps going into overdrive, and that rebound effect is what causes withdrawal. The symptoms can range from anxiety, tremors, and nausea to, in severe cases, hallucinations and even life-threatening seizures. This is exactly why a supervised detox is so crucial. Sam checked into a medical detox center where doctors monitored him around the clock. They managed his symptoms and provided medication to keep him safe. The World Health Organization confirms that for moderate to severe dependence, this is the safest and most effective way to start. Sam later said, "That first week was the hardest of my life, but knowing someone had my back, that I was safe, got me through it." Once the physical storm of withdrawal had passed, Sam moved into a rehabilitation program. This is where the real work of rebuilding begins. It's a shift from just surviving the physical detox to healing your mind, your emotions, and your behaviors. So what does rehab actually look like? It's a combination of powerful tools. There's individual therapy, where Sam got to dig into the personal reasons behind his drinking. Then there's group therapy, which was a revelation for him. Sitting in a room with others who understood exactly what he was going through made him realize he was not alone. Rehab also includes life skills training, relearning how to build a daily routine without alcohol, and creating a solid relapse prevention plan for when you step back into the real world. Research from the National Institute on Drug Abuse shows that staying in treatment for at least 90 days is linked to much better long-term outcomes. For Sam, rehab wasn't just a time out from alcohol. It was a complete reset. In his words, "I started learning how to live again. Not just survive, but live with purpose." But why did Sam drink in the first place? You don't develop a dependency on alcohol by accident. For most people, it starts as a solution to a problem. For Sam, it was a coping tool. It silenced his self-doubt, helped him bury past trauma, and quieted the overwhelming stress that he felt every day. This is where ongoing counseling becomes so important. It helps you unpack the why. There are several types of therapy that are incredibly effective in recovery. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, helps you identify and change the negative thought patterns that lead to drinking. Motivational interviewing helps you find your own internal drive to stay sober. And for people like Sam who have underlying trauma, trauma-informed therapy provides a safe space to heal those old wounds. Through therapy, Sam learned how to sit with uncomfortable feelings instead of running from them. He learned to express his emotions in healthy ways. And most importantly, he started to rebuild his sense of self-worth. One of the biggest myths about recovery is that it's all about willpower. But science tells a different story. Long-term alcohol use physically changes your brain chemistry, making cravings intense and relapse a constant threat, especially in the early days. This is where pharmacotherapy, or medication-assisted treatment, can be a game-changer. There are a few common medications that can support sobriety. Naltrexone, for example, helps reduce cravings and blocks the pleasurable effects of alcohol, making it less appealing. Acamprosate helps restore the chemical balance in the brain that alcohol disrupted, and disulfiram causes an unpleasant physical reaction if alcohol is consumed, acting as a strong deterrent. Sam's doctor prescribed naltrexone, and it made a world of difference. He said, "I didn't feel like I was fighting myself every single day. The cravings still came, but they weren't in charge anymore." Medication isn't for everyone, but for many it provides a vital bridge, giving them the stability they need to build a strong foundation in recovery. Recovery doesn't happen in a vacuum, it happens in community. One of the most powerful moments in Sam's journey was when he walked nervously into his first peer support meeting. He sat and listened as people from all walks of life shared stories that mirrored his own struggles, his own fears, and his own hopes. In that room, he had a profound realization. I realized I wasn't broken. I was human, and humans can heal. The power of connection is undeniable. Peer support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous or Smart Recovery provide a space free of judgment. Family and friends, when they're educated and supportive, become your greatest allies. So where is Sam now? Fast forward 2 years. He's sober, he's healthy, and he's filled with a sense of hope he thought he'd lost forever. He's back at his job. He's slowly repairing the relationships that alcohol damaged, and he's even mentoring others who are just starting their own recovery journeys. Of course, he still has tough days, but now instead of reaching for a bottle, he reaches for his journal. He goes for long walks. He calls a friend from his support group. The payoff of sobriety has been immense. Mental clarity, better sleep, stable moods, and a renewed sense of purpose. As Sam puts it, "I didn't just quit drinking, I started living." And the science backs this up. The brain has an incredible capacity to heal. In as little as 72 hours after quitting, sleep patterns start to improve. Within 2 weeks, liver function can get better. After a month, many people report better moods and more energy. And over 6 months to a year, the brain continues to rebuild cognitive and emotional resilience. Recovery is literally reshaping your brain, creating new, healthy pathways. It's so important to remember that recovery is not a straight line. Relapse can happen, but it doesn't mean failure. It's a sign that your recovery plan needs an adjustment. Every journey is unique. There is no single right way to do this, only the way that works for you. If Sam's story resonates with you, if you or someone you love is struggling, please hear this. You are not alone, you are not weak, and it is never ever too late to start again. The journey begins with one small, courageous step, reaching out for help. Before we go, please remember, this video is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you are struggling, please talk to a healthcare professional. Recovery is not about being perfect. It's about being honest, hopeful, and human. You are worth the journey. Thanks for watching. If this video was helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more content on health and healing. Take care of yourselves.